Next, we'll talk about success factors that contribute to process excellence. I have been writing my doctorate thesis on those factors. So, what would you guess is the most important success factor that has the biggest impact whether your process excellence initiatives will fail or succeed? It is the top management support. And it does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? Sounds almost trivial. If the top management is not supporting the initiative, then it is really difficult to get the needed resources to make it happen. Also, people will follow the leaders, and if they will not show the process excellence to be important for the future of the company, then people will dismiss it as yet another fad. So let's take a look what the other important success factors are. Removing silos and working over functional borders is second very important factor. Most of the processes will somehow involve people from several departments, so if those people are not able to work seamlessly together, then the process won't work either. That is probably one of the biggest challenges companies are facing today, since the structures have been built so rigid that it is difficult to make things happen. There is simply too much red tape. It all comes from the company culture, because culture is always stronger than processes. People will do what they are used to do, no matter what the process manual says. And for that very reason, you want to create customer-centric process culture, which continuously strives for excellence. It does not come without work, I can promise you that. I will share with you one case story about a project that I was involved in some time ago and which didn't have those success factors in place. The average lifespan of a company listed in the S&P 500 index of leading US companies has decreased by more than 50 years in the last century, from 67 years in the 1920s to just 15 years today. By the year 2020, more than three-quarters of the S&P 500 will be companies that we have not even heard of yet. How long do you think your company will survive in this kind of business environment? Is it closer to 15 or 70 years? This situation reminds me of one customer case I did earlier this year for an IT company. This company used to be really innovative and they were able to grow from 5 founders business to 200 people strong. You can imagine how the company changed from these enthusiastic entrepreneurs to hierarchical organization which is run like any other IT company. At the same time, there are new competitors coming to the markets all the time. One particular competitor has been quite successful and is gaining market shares rapidly. Do you know what the funny thing was? The company I was working with said that the new competitor is just like they were years ago. But now, it wasn't any more comparison of these two companies being alike, but rather it was a distant memory of a history long gone. Well, anyway, the matter of the fact is that the IT company is losing customers and market share, but at the same time, the top management has really made ambitious goals to reach. I went to that company to do the current state analysis and to start to draft the recommendations to the top management. They were determined to grow sales and profits really rapidly. The analysis showed that the basis of the organization is quite okay, but it is missing process and customer-led strategy on how to improve the organization. They claim that the top management support is strong and it won't cause any problems. Well, I bet you can already guess which direction this case story will start to go. So I suggested that since the biggest areas to develop are in the areas of process excellence and customer experience, we focus on those two matters. To do that, and to get the top management really enthusiastic about this change project, we arranged a one-day seminar where we show how the process excellence and customer experience support each other to enable the organization to make bigger profits quicker. And so, the day for the seminar came. Quite many of those board members and CEOs were late already. When he came into the room, first thing he did was look at his watch and ask when is the time for lunch. How would you describe that kind of leadership? The seminar day is designed to run in the biggest strategic change since the company was founded. But throughout the day, the CEO had calls, wrote emails, and didn't really participate in the discussions at all. At the same time, some board members were demanding for change. This whole lack of top management support towards the process excellence and customer experience agenda caused them to have a physical fight at the end of the day. As you can imagine, the whole initiative was killed at the instance. Naturally, that caused us to make an in-depth retrospective on what happened. We even interviewed some of the board members individually to find out what went wrong. What we found out was that the founding members, which CEO is also part of, didn't see any need to develop the company. They thought trivial contact purchase project would solve their sales issues. They completely neglected the results our analysis showed, which was very low process maturity and bad customer experience. Today, about 6 months later, when this happened, the company still declines rapidly. So, what do we learn from this? Yes, the top management support is crucial for process excellence initiatives to succeed.